Hello. Welcome to Fireside Chat with Kimberly. It is Monday again. I'm so glad you're here with me. Thank you first to Rebel Cheese, the sponsor for this week's talks. Prize packs for this month's contest have been graciously donated by Hodo Foods, Crofters Organics, Follow Your Heart, Cinnaholic, Orgain, Revolution Gelato, Terra Seed, and Rebel Cheese. I invite my viewers to enter the monthly contest at virtualvegfest.com and click on the contest tab for details. Entering is super easy just by liking and or subscribing to our social media and Virtual Veg Fest YouTube channel. You're entered to win one of 7 prize packs. So, hi, how are we tonight? Hey, Diane, thanks for being here. Tonight, no, first, happy World Vegan Day. Yes, it is World Vegan Day. And if you follow me on social media, I've been talking about it all day. My podcast this morning is about World Vegan Day, and I've posted a few things about it. I did a quick blog based off of the podcast. So World Vegan Day, amazing that we get our own day. And in fact, World Vegan Day kicks off World Vegan Month, which is the entire month of November. So I'm going to talk a lot more about World Vegan Month next week. Going to have some tips and some ways that you can bring more veganism, if not completely, a little bit more veganism into your life. Hello, Richard. Thank you for being here. Yay, happy World Vegan Day. So I am very excited about that. But tonight we are talking about a question that I got last week. Someone had asked me, why do vegans keep talking about veganism when there are so many people in the world who will never actually go vegan? And I'm sure that, hi, Susan. Happy World Vegan Day. Thank you for being here. And I am sure that there are a lot of people who are not vegan who might wonder that these vegans, they're always going on about being vegan. And I mean, there's that whole joke, right? Vegans are just like CrossFit people in this way, where it's like, how do you know there's a vegan in the room? Or how do you know there's a CrossFitter in the room? Like, don't worry, they'll tell you. Um, and yeah, I can't speak for the CrossFit. I just know that people say that about them too. But vegans keep talking about veganism for a bunch of different reasons. And the first one is, I just want you to think, take a few minutes to think about something that you love and that makes you feel good, and it makes you feel like you're making a difference, maybe just in your own life, not even like thinking about the whole world, but just think about something that you really love and that makes you feel that way. So just take a second, think about that. What happened the first time you experienced this? You told everyone you know, right? Like, just the first time you had, like, I don't know, what's even a good example? Let's say you're a beer drinker, okay? And the first time you had this one beer, it was the best beer you'd ever had. You told everyone you know that drinks beer, right? And about how good it was, and where you can buy it, how much it costs, which bars you found it at, things like that, right? Or you found a sweater that you loved. Did you buy it in more than one color? I know I've done that. But when people compliment you on the sweater, did you not tell them everything about it? I mean, some people are a little precious about that, really. They don't want you to have the same things they have because they need to be unique. But anyway, that's not important. But were you like, oh my, I got it at this place and it's the best thing and it's so comfortable and you should get a sweater just like this too? You'd be so happy if you had this sweater. You told everybody and you wanted to tell people who didn't even want to listen, right? Now imagine that this thing that you've discovered not only makes your life good and fills a space in your heart where you know that you're doing something really kind and that you are able to make a difference because you're part of the community. You're part of a collective where you're spending money, where you oh, that's really sweet. Exactly, Richard. You think about when you first met your spouse, your partner, your significant other, and how you felt. That's a perfect example. I wish I thought of that one. uh, and you're just your heart is so full and you can't stop talking about them, and like everybody around you is like, oh my god, enough already. We get it, you like this person, good for you. But you just, yeah, that's exactly that feeling, and you want to shout it from the rooftops, I love so and so, right? Well, that's how we feel about being vegan, because not only, like I said, are we making our own lives better, we have the power to impact things that happen in the world. We all know, living in the US, capitalist society, where the money goes, that's what keeps getting produced. So if the demand is there, the supply will be there. And if people are demanding to not to eat something other than animals, to use to buy sweaters made of something other than wool, then the companies are going to see, well, this is not making us as much money anymore. And if we go over here to this, non-animal version of whatever this is, and people are buying more and more of this, now they're like, for them, it's like, we can make more money. So you have power by where you're spending your dollars. So that's pretty cool. And you can make significant change that way. When you tell people about an amazing thing that you have discovered, how many times have you discovered like a cool gadget or, a new store to buy things, whatever it is, and you told the people around you how amazing it is? And they all went there too. They all bought that thing too because they could see how it was improving your life, how it was making you happy. And when they got it, it did the same thing to them. And maybe now they've told the people in their lives about this thing. And it keeps going and going, and they say that, if you have, like, from a business perspective, if you have um like one person who really loves what you're doing, they are going to tell four people, and then four people are going to each tell four more people, and it grows and grows and grows. And it's the same thing with veganism. Susan, the Instapot. I don't have one, I'm afraid of it. I know it's silly because they're much, safer these days, but I know many, many people who feel that way about their Instapot. I love it, Susan. So, you think about the empowerment that you have and the ability to keep, like, sharing a message and getting to more people, and having people, embrace some kind of change because of the passion that you feel. This is one of the reasons why vegans keep talking about veganism. So, one, we feel amazing. We are really happy with this choice that we've made in our lives. And it's a good reminder that not everyone that you meet who's vegan now grew up that way. In fact, I would say at this point, most adults who are vegan probably didn't grow up that way. So they have been where you are, and they learned something that made them change their mind, and now they're here talking to you about it. And it's just like it it just feels really good. And just like the Instapot, just like when you first met your spouse, you're telling everybody. So there's that part. It's the excitement. It's the, can you believe how amazing this thing is? Can you believe how amazing this lifestyle is? That's, I think, where it starts. That's why new vegans, you hear constant talk. And we know that even if we meet people, and maybe we don't know this when we first go vegan, but as we've been doing it for a long time, we start to realize that just because we talk to someone once doesn't mean that's the last time we're going to talk to them about this. And just because it didn't sink in the first time and that they didn't immediately go vegan themselves, or start questioning what they're doing, doesn't mean that they won't at a later point. We're always planting seeds. So that, I'd say, is the second reason why vegans are always talking about veganism. And, we know that You have to have a conversation, and maybe even if we're met with a lot of defensiveness and people who really are trying to shut us down, in that moment, maybe they've still heard something. And maybe they haven't even realized what we've said to them that has clicked on a deeper level. And so maybe a week from then, maybe the next day, maybe a year from that conversation, something might trigger that reminder or a feeling. And then they start to think about, oh, I remember that conversation. I don't really feel good about this thing that I've been doing. I wonder how I could stop doing that. There's always that chance. We really never know, no matter how closed off someone seems. If they ask you questions, vegan's likely to answer them. I know I am. I never shy away from answering questions, even if I feel like in the moment the person's like, not really open to it. But if they asked me, then I'm willing to take a few minutes and respond to them. Because, we we want more vegans in the world. I don't know any vegan that thinks and that who is, an adult these days feels like, oh, the world will be vegan in our lifetime. I don't think that's the expectation at all. But if we can talk to people and get people rethinking how they show up every day and what they do, and the choices they make, we can make the world a better place and reduce some of the suffering. And that is more than worth it. To me, of course, as a vegan, I feel like that just makes the most sense is to try to get the message out and get people to see how much. And it's not just that they're like, you're not giving up, you're gaining so much. And I don't know, it's just such a wonderful way to live. And those of us who are vegan, we already know it. And so if someone wants to hear about it, we are more than happy to tell them. And I want to say, and by the way, guys, if you've never been here before, just know you're always welcome to ask questions while I'm speaking. I'll pepper in your questions and the answers as I talk. And you don't always have to have a question about what I'm talking about. If you have an unrelated to this topic but a vegan question, just pop it in the comments and I will respond. And I think the third the third reason is that as vegans, you know, we are doing why we're vegan is so much bigger than our individual lives. And we are trying to make a significant change in the way that the world operates. And there's so much cruelty in all of the ways that animals are used for human convenience that there's a moral obligation, to talk about it and to make sure that people know that there is another option, that you don't have to keep contributing to this because there's another way. And I mean, you can look if people are concerned about their health. Oh, it's not healthy to be vegan. It's not safe to be vegan. Well, the National Institute of Health came out, I think a couple of years ago, at least at this point, saying that vegan diets are healthy for every stage of life, from infancy through adulthood, including pregnancy. And you can find that on their website. That's not me just saying that, that's definitely there. And of course, Dr. Michael Greger has an amazing, amazing website, nutritionfacts.org. And he is constantly doing research. He and his team are constantly doing research and posting that research, showing the, the ways that eating plants is healthy for you. So if you have, I mean, at this point, I think he's covered everything. So just, go to that website and look up whatever it is you might be concerned about, and I think that will help ease your fears. So, so there's the um, it really is like like I said, a moral obligation that we just need to make sure that people know, again, that they have options. And it's not just with food, because as we all know, or, as many of us here know, and if you don't, veganism is not just what you eat. Veganism is also what you wear, the products you use, the entertainment you consume. Um, and it's everything. Every decision in my life is fully governed by the fact that I am vegan. And maybe that seems overwhelming to some people, but it's not. And why it's not is because you're not making a zillion decisions every second of the day. You're making one decision in that second. And once you understand the uh, parameters, if you will, of veganism, it's very easy to decide. Do I go to the circus or do I go see Cirque du Soleil? I mean, it's very obvious what the answer is when you're vegan. You're going to say Cirque du Soleil because it's just people who are willing to be there. They've gotten a job to be a part of that. They are aware of what they're doing. They are aware of any risks that are involved, and they have a say in whether or not they continue to do it. Animals in a circus don't have that, and they're abused and used, and it's awful. But there's other options. There's nothing out there that we just don't need animals for entertainment. We don't. Just like us, they have an interest in living their best animal life, their best elephant life, their best pig life, their best cow life, their best tiger life, right? So they, just like us, have those interests. There are many ways we can entertain ourselves. There are so many products out there that don't include animal products, that aren't made with animal products. And you can get beautiful sweaters that aren't itchy because they are not made of wool, which we're not made to be wearing. And you can find beautiful shoes and handbags that don't have to be made with animals. And you don't have to go the fake, pleather route, the faux leather route. There are tons of, I mean, I have this gorgeous cork handbag that is at this point like 4 or 5 years old. And yeah, I mean, since COVID, I don't really leave the house that much. The purse doesn't really go out and about anymore. But I am not I am not a gentle lady with my handbags, and I'm constantly shoving things in there, and I drop it on the floor, and it gets pushed into corners, and it's just, it's not a thing for me, but it was beautiful, and I just needed to have it, and it still holds up, and it looks just as pretty as it did the day that I bought it. So there's really nothing, and if you can think of something you want me to figure out what a non-animal version of it is, let me know. That I can't think of a single thing that I could possibly need in my life. And I realize that I am very privileged, and I live in an area, I'm here in New Jersey, and I have access to lots of things. So for me, and I think for many of us, it's very easy to not include animals in our day. That's really great, Diane. And I had the same experience. It just, like, once it clicked, once I understood what was happening to these animals so that I could have shampoo, or so that I could have a pair of shoes, um, or, that I could have a cheeseburger. I mean, once I understood that, there just wasn't an answer. That just wasn't an answer anymore, right? There's just no other option but to find a vegan version of whatever it was. So I hope that that kind of opens your eyes to why, even though it seems daunting, there are billions of people in the world, right? How are we vegans going? Like, why do we keep talking about it if there's billions of people, and we don't live in a vegan world, and people still don't understand it, or get angry or defensive when they even meet a vegan? I mean, how many times for those vegans who are watching, have you met someone and they found out you were vegan? Maybe they were preparing food for you, or there was some reason why you had to tell them. And it was like an immediate, like, oh, they don't like you, and it's they're angry with the way you live your life, and it's not acceptable, and they want to like fight you on this stuff. So when you see that, I think it's easy for someone who isn't vegan to go, why would you bother? Like, fine, you want to be vegan, but like, why are you still talking about it with everybody else? And and those are the reasons that I shared today. That because we're excited and we love it and we want more people to be as happy as we are. Because um it's oh my god, what was my second point? I should have wrote them down. um, so we're excited and I know my third point was that there's like a moral obligation for us. All right, anyway, I've lost it. But that's the beauty of being live is that I get to have fun and make mistakes and show people that it's okay to do that. And also this is recorded, so we can go back and find out what point number 2 was because I am completely drawing a blank. All right. Thank you all so much for being here with me tonight. I am so honored to be able to do this work and to share my thoughts and my feelings and the research that I do and my comments and whatever with you here every Monday. Like I said, next week, I'm going to talk a little bit more about World Vegan Month, share maybe some tips on how, if you're not already vegan, how you can start to incorporate more vegan type things in your life if you're not quite ready to make the full leap. So come back here Monday and join me for that. If you'd like to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you can find me at Did You Bring the Hummus. You can also visit my website at didyoubringthehummus.com and my podcast. There's a new episode this morning talking about World Vegan Day. That posts every other Monday. You can find it on your favorite podcast app, as well as on my website. If you have any questions or you have a topic that you'd like me to talk about in a future show, please, you can send me a message via any of those social medias or via my website or also on the Fireside Chats page on Virtual Veg Fest Live. So whatever way you want to get me your info, do it. Let me know what you need. I'm more than happy to talk about whatever it is that you guys want to talk about. Thank you again for being here with me tonight. Have an amazing week, and I will see you next Monday. Bye.